Do you want to know how to fix all Local Translate plugin errors within WordPress? Now I'm going to teach you a series of simple, no-nonsense steps to correct any error within your WordPress website. I will show you some steps that will guide you throughout the correction process, without you having to waste your time looking for other solutions. Everything in a more didactic and complete way, without the need for any type of advanced knowledge. Here's a very important step that you cannot neglect. Use good website hosting. 90% of the problems we encounter on WordPress sites are always related to the hosting company. In some cases, the PHP version is out of date. In other cases, PHP does not have an extension allowed or features are missing. Therefore, we recommend Hostinger servers so that you can use PHP in your hosting company, regardless of which country in the world you are in. They have multi-language support, and they serve the entire world. They have a specific plan for WordPress with management, and it is one of the best plans for WordPress. We tested several sites within these plans. From the initial plan, you can host from 100 websites, and they are compatible with absolutely everyone. All the plugins we have tested to date, we have not found any plugin that does not work within the Hostinger environment. They also have a system within the panel to check viruses within WordPress installations, make updates within the panel, and check plugin compatibility, which will help you resolve most problems. There's a link in the description, and if you're purchasing an annual plan or longer, use our link to support our channel. One very important thing, as Rochinger has a money-back policy if you don't like the product, you can simply do the following. By hosting from Rochinger, install a WordPress site. Install all the themes and plugins you have on your current website. Check if it will work. If it works, you know the problem is with your website hosting and it's time for you to migrate. All you have to do is bring your website to Hostinger. Even Hostinger does the migration for you free of charge. All you have to do is join one of their plans. I recommend Cloud Startup for sites that need more performance, and call the support team, and they will help you with the migration process. Before making any changes, you must back up your environment. It is very important to have a backup of your website. Even if it has a problem, make a backup of the website to its current state. You can ask your hosting company's support team, or you can hire Hostinger, link in the description, and you can have their automatic backup. Backing up on the Hostinger panel is very simple to do. I'm going to teach here, and almost every hosting company is the same. Within your hosting company's dashboard, you go to Files, and you will have the Backups option. Coming here to the Backups option, I can click on Create New Backup. I come to Select. It warns me that it will overwrite the previous backup. Continue, and it starts creating my backup. I have to wait until this backup is complete, so I can start making the changes that will fix the problems with the plugins and themes within my website. Okay, backup completed. Now you can go to your website, make the necessary changes. If you have a problem, it's very simple to restore the backup. You can come here to restore the website. Select the date of the backup you made. Click on Restore, and it carries out the entire process. This said hosting. If you are using another hosting company, just contact technical support, and they will help you resolve the issue and perform a restoration if necessary. This is the first step to solving problems. In fact, if you have a problem and don't have any new information on the site, you can try restoring old backups to see if it fixes the problem you're getting. Another step is to change the browser you are using. I know this step seems obvious, but in many cases it solves problems. Let's test. Let's go. Let's select the browser we were using previously, copy the URL, and simply paste it into another browser. It can be any browser, and on your computer, you certainly have more than one browser. If you are using Windows, it comes by default with Microsoft Edge. If you're on Mac OS, you have Safari. If you're using Linux, it comes standard with Firefox. You can switch between browsers to see if the web page opens. Another important tip is to try to open the same page on your cell phone. Deactivating WordPress plugins is also a step that usually solves some problems. It may be that what you have within your environment is a compatibility problem and not a specific problem with the plugin. WordPress is a huge ecosystem, and sometimes some developers develop plugins that conflict with other plugins. The best way to find out if the plugin you want to use conflicts with any other plugin by coming to the WordPress dashboard and deactivating the plugins. Clicking on Deactivate the plugin is simply deactivated. However, this has a small problem. In some cases, you will not be able to open the WordPress dashboard. If your case is a case where WordPress doesn't even open the panel, I'll teach you how to deactivate the plugin in another way. Open your hosting company's panel. Go to Files and File Manager or File Manager. Click on your File Manager, and when you open it, you will have access to the HTML public folder. Access the HTML public folder. On some servers, this folder may be named www. Go to WP Contents, the Plugins folder, enter it. And inside the Plugins folder, you will see that you will have folders with the names of the plugins you are using. For example, here I have a plugin called Full Wide Page Templates. What I'm going to do is deactivate this plugin, but not here. If my WordPress wasn't opening, I could just rename by clicking with the right button, going to rename, and I change the name of the folder. I will just add an underline at the end and click on rename. Change the name of the folder, and when I come to WordPress and update, I will see that the plugin has been deactivated. So if this plugin was causing a problem in my WordPress installation, I would have deactivated it, and my WordPress would be working again, thus letting me know that this plugin is a problem. If this plugin has been deactivated, as I did now, and even though WordPress didn't work again, I must continue deactivating the other plugins, renaming the folder, or deactivating them through the panel until WordPress works again. The moment WordPress starts working again, I will know which plugin caused the problem. So I'm going to go back to the folder here and return the plugin folder name to the original. Bring the name of the plugin folder back to the original, removing the underline so that the name of the plugin folder remains as it should be. I update my plugins page, and now I can activate the plugin again. All the others, except the plugin that created the error within my site. This way I will know which of the plugins I have within my environment that generated an error in WordPress. One way to fix problems is also by changing the permissions of the folders where your plugin was installed. In many cases, a person unzips a zip file directly into the WordPress folder where the plugin is located, and this changes the permissions and folder owner, causing critical errors within WordPress. Let's go back to our hosting company's dashboard. I came to Files, File Manager, access our File Manager, our File Manager, go to Public HTML, access WP Content, go to the Plugins folder, and here we find all the plugins installed within WordPress. Note that they have specific folder permissions. This is the folder permission pattern within the web. If your directory is not with these permissions, you can right-click, you can come to Permissions, and change the permissions. Note that the permission is 755. If I check any box, I change the permissions. The default is 755. Check the recursive, directories, and files option and click Update. Important: if you want to keep the original state of the folder, Before making the change, you can right-click, come to Archive, select the file format, and it will create a backup for you with the original state. Here the permission is different, but within this zip file, the permissions remain the same as they are on your screen. Now let's move on to the solution, where we will change Taccess. In many cases, restoring Taccess to the WordPress default resolves most issues. However, it is important to pay attention to the following. If you use a caching plugin within WordPress, you must deactivate the plugin first. If your WordPress isn't even loading, then yes, you can change Taccess first and later disable the cache plugin. Most caching plugins change the WordPress Taccess file. Let's go. I'm going to open my hosting panel again. I'm going to come to the File Manager. Go to the File Manager and look for the current Taccess of my website in public.html. I will look for the Taccess file. It is here. The first thing I should do is create a copy of it. So I go to Copy File, select the current folder I'm in, copy, and it will create another Taccess for me outside of public.html. Another method for you to make a backup is also to simply right-click and turn Taccess into a zip file, for example, and then you will have your zip in case you need to restore. Okay, let's open Taccess. Notice that my Taccess is completely changed. These changes are due to my Lightspeed cache plugin. It makes changes, but the original WordPress Taccess doesn't look like this. In the official WordPress documentation, we can see the original appearance of Taccess. In an error situation, you can copy the content, paste the new content inside Taccess, and save the file. This will help you test whether your website will work again or not. If the site does not work again, restore the file as it was, and the file does not work again. And let's go to the next step. Increasing the memory of WordPress itself is also a step that solves many of the problems. Increase the memory available for WordPress. The first thing you have to do is check with your hosting company what the memory limit is available on your server. The one we are using is a plan specifically for WordPress. We have 3 gigabytes of memory. I allocated 1 gigabyte for PHP, and now I will also increase the memory available for WordPress. So I come here to Files, File Manager. If you host your website elsewhere, you can access the File Manager through your hosting company's dashboard. If you want to change your hosting company, I recommend that you click on the link in the description to get a discount on annual or larger plans within hosting. Access the File Manager. Go to public HTML. WP includes. Look for the file called default constants. Let's look for the file. We find it here. Here is the default constants.php file. Let's double click on the file. Let's scroll and here where WordPress sets the memory limits. We will put this memory limit as 1024. Again, change it below also to 1024, and below here we have WordPress multi-sites. We are not using this structure, but if we were, we could also change it to 1024. Let's save, and that's it. From this moment, WordPress will be able to use more of the system's available RAM, which solves many of the problems with plugins that require greater use of RAM memory. Time is money. If you need a team to solve problems with your applications, your infrastructure, and your web application, contact us. The link in the description has our calendar open to the public with hours and days that you can select. Check out and receive our exclusive service from a bunch of technology mad people for a client who needs it. Your time is worth a lot to us. If you don't want to, that's okay. Just watch the video until the end, and I'm sure you'll be able to solve your problem. If you want to make money solving WordPress problems, there's a link in the description that will take you to the best training there is. I want you to think about the following. What do you think is most likely? That someone pays you $1,000 for a website that they don't even know if they need? Or that someone who already has a website working and has a problem pays you $1,000 to solve it? Solve problems with tools that already exist. It is a huge and little explored market. You have the opportunity to work on the urgency, the need of businesses that are already active. Click on the link in the description, and I'm sure you'll like it. If none of the steps in this video were able to solve your problem, I will now teach you how to contact the Local Translate support team. Let's go. I'll leave the WordPress.org link in the first pinned comment. You will click on it, and you will be taken directly to this page where I am here now. By entering here, you will log into your WordPress.org account. We'll come here to the support page. Going to the support page, we will create a topic. Creating a topic, we will now add a little title to illustrate what problem you are having. It will be clear to the direct support team what error you are experiencing. So, I recommend that you put what the error is here directly in the title. You will also include the link to your website, and now comes the special tip for this video. We will add a copy here that I will leave ready, and also in the first pinned comment that will already contain everything you need to say about your environment, about the error you are having, and send it to the support team in a way that they will be able to understand much better what you are running, what you are doing within your website that could be causing this error. Beauty? Let's go. The first thing I've already left here, you'll just need to fill in your details. What is your hosting company? In our case, I will put Hostinger here. You will enter the version of PHP you are using on your server, the version of WordPress you are using on your server, and the version of the Loco Translate plugin you are running. Beauty? Remembering that everything I'm putting here is just for example, so you can provide your information, all plugins that you have installed on your website and have them active. I recommend that you make it clear here within this message that we will send to support, because they can cause some type of error. If you have a caching plugin, also separate it. Place it separately and make it clear whether it is active or not at the time you are receiving the error message. As I taught you how to activate the debug looper, any message you have received within the debug looper, I also recommend that you leave it here within this support message, okay? Because this can help the programmer who will assist you to understand how this error is being caused and how to resolve it. And finally, we're going to add two very quick sentences here, two short little texts first explaining what you're trying to do and how it should work and how it's returned. Okay, that's all you need to do. Here in this small test that I have already left ready for you to fill out, you will have already entered all the data that the programmer will need to be able to understand what you are running, how your environment is working, and be able to respond to you and help you solve this error as soon as possible. Finally, before we send this error ticket, I recommend that you put some tags here, basic stuff, just to exemplify what you're talking about an error here within this topic. Okay, finally, there are some boxes here that will basically talk about the content you wrote. I recommend that you read these first two. If you are consistent, mark them, but that probably won't be the case. I only recommend that you check the last one here so they can notify you by email when your support ticket has been responded to. And that's it. If you've contacted the plugin support team, you can submit a submit, and that's it. You don't need to do anything else. Just wait, and they will respond to you. This video will stay here. I hope you liked it. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell.